prolong this hearing on such an important but often overlooked topic. I share many of the concerns I think you have about making sure our water and wastewater systems are protected from cyber attacks. This is a critical issue at the nexus of water affordability, environmental quality, and national security. I've been working on a bill to provide EPA with more tools to address the issue and provide water systems with the resources they need to properly fortify their cyber systems without impacting the water and sewage bills paid by American households. I'm hopeful that this committee can work together to work on addressing this problem. I have a couple of questions, and I offer to anyone on the panel who would like to weigh in. How prevalent do we believe the ransomware attacks are? I know there are, particularly in corporate America, there's a reluctance to notify the Bureau or anyone else when there's a cyber attack for fear of it becoming public and the reputational harm. Do we have any sense of how often water systems are under ransomware attacks?
Okay. I don't think we have a clear understanding what it is, but ransomware attacks are definitely more prevalent than nation-state attacks. Nation-state or nation-sponsored threats tend to just lie in wait. They try to exfiltrate data, where ransomware is more of a criminal mindset, where we're going to try to leverage and get some money out of these people. It's devastating to members. I know in North Dakota, there's been a few hospital systems that have suffered ransomware attacks, and it's been particularly hard for them. They've had to get short-term financing just to bridge through to get their billing re-enabled. It's a very serious thing, and
I remember a hospital in my district. This is probably 8 or 10 years ago, and this was quaint compared to today. Locked up all the hospital's data, and the hospital went to the FBI and said, "What do we do?" And they were demanding, I think, $17,000 in cryptocurrency. And the FBI said, "Do you want your data back?" And they said, "We need our data." And the FBI said, "Then pay them." I'm sure they wouldn't demand $17,000 anymore. But there's no requirement that water systems report when they're the victims of cyber attacks. So do we really just not have much of a sense at all how often it happens?
Well, I mean, I would just say again, Water ISAC tries to be that central repository. So we are aware of some, but they're usually anonymized. So we don't single out we don't say a certain city or county or whatever. We try to make it just, hey, make awareness that this ransomware attack did occur. Here's the avenue by which they access their system. Make sure you've addressed this vulnerability. So that's how I think we can grow together and learn together, is by that central repository serving as
how many are you notified by, say, within the last year?
Of ransomware attacks?
Yeah.
I don't think that many. I mean, I think a handful.
Yeah.
For the water specific, I think it's water specific is what you're asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the destructive attacks that we've become aware of have targeted smaller water systems in kind of random locations. Do we think it's just because they were targets of opportunity, that is, that foreign malign actors, Iran, whoever, are simply looking to punish the United States, and they've identified, hey, this water system is using dated software or whatever? Is that what we think is going on with the kind of strange target selection?
I believe that what's happening is they're attacking many systems all at one time and looking for those vulnerabilities, and some of those systems will provide those vulnerabilities. So I think that it's a widely cast net, and then just the unlucky few are actually getting hit.
And is the net cast by a spear phishing email that's sort of blasted out, or how do they cast the net?
I'm going to let you answer that one.
It can be. In my current occupation, we see that weekly, that spear phishing campaign. Generally speaking, when it comes to OT networks and the IT networks that are live on the internet, that's through like a random port scan. they're just scanning a whole list and they get return values. Oh, yep, this port's open. I'm gonna see if we can go further here.
And that kind of search is done not just of water agencies, it's a kind of a broad search for someone using an unpatched software?
Yeah, there's really no way to tell, like from a port scan, it's a small rural water system or a large utility. It's just a wide net, and as soon as they see that that port or that service is open, they dig further and see if they can exploit the vulnerability.
Last question. The major infiltrations, like the Chinese salt typhoon, do we know whether we're having any success in excising that stalking horse? I don't know whether that may be beyond the scope of what we can discuss in this hearing, but how much do we know about what may be lying in wait?
I'll do my best to answer this question. That's a very serious concern in the cybersecurity community. Have we made headway? I think there's a little bit more information sharing coming down from like FBI, InfraGard on some of those things. We get that information faster through the information sharing and analysis centers like Water ISAC and ESAC and the like. So that information does get to us faster. Whether it's acted on, I don't know if I can provide like any details on that, but it's definitely a concern.
Thank you, Madam Chair.